Assalamu alaikum and good day everyone. I'm Rohaniya Sibauting, BSed English 2B, the reporters of Module 4, Microbes, Protists, and Fungi. Invisible to us because they are so small, but bacteria, virus, and protists are known to everyone as agent of disease. The role of bacteria is, however, much broader. Our life on Earth will not be possible without them, since they perform many of the essential functions of ecosystem. Bacteria is the simplest, most ancient, and most abundant organism. However, a virus is a fragment of a nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, that is able to reproduce within the cells of a host organism. Viruses are not organisms, but because of their disease production potential, they are very important biological entities. Bacteria, the only representative of kingdom Monera Prokaryote, the most abundant and most common organism on Earth, believed to be the first form of life on Earth. No membrane surrounded nucleus, but the nuclear region called nucleus. The simplest and smallest living organism, less than 1 micron in length. Hundreds of thousands of bacteria can fit into a space the size of the period of the end of the sentence. Types of bacteria cells as to shape coccus or cosy. Sphere shape of globular in shape. Number 2 is bacillus or bacilli, cylindrical or root shape. Number 3 is spirilia, spiral or corkscrew shape. As to composition of cell wall, gram-positive. Gram-positives with positive layer of membrane in cell which readily bind. Gram stain. Number 2 is gram-negative. Gram-negative, this is the with no membrane in cell wall. As to method of obtaining carbon and energy. Number 1, autotrophs. Obtain carbon from CO and energy from different sources. Number 2 is photoautotrophs. Obtain carbon from carbon dioxide and energy from light through photosynthesis in cyanobacteria. Number 3 is chemioautotrophs. Obtain carbon from carbon dioxide and energy from inorganic compounds such as hydrogen sulfide or nitrobacteria. Heterotrophs. Obtain carbon from organic molecules released from decaying organisms or by preying on other bacteria, and energy from organic molecules or from light. Representatives of kingdom Monera. Structures and reproduction. They lack the internal organization, which is the distinctive feature of eukaryotic cells. No membrane-bound nucleus in the system of endoplasmic reticulum. The cytoplasm contains no internal compartments or organelles. Have cell walls consisting of a network or polysaccharide saccharide molecules. The mode of division is binary fusion. An individual cell simply increases in size and its cell's membranes and cells will grow inward and eventually divide the cell into two by forming a new wall from the outside toward the center of the old cell, resulting to two cells are genetically and identical with each other. Genetic recombination is true formation of cytoplasmic connection between the two cells where part of the chromosomes or plasmid can be transferred. Significance of bacteria. Majority of bacteria are entirely harmless and some are even beneficial to humans. Useful in industry, particularly in production of dairy product, vinegar, acetone or vitamins and antibiotics. Also used in genetic engineering for the production of some useful substance such as insulin. Play a very important role in cycle of nutrients as decomposers. Some are agents of disease like chlorine, diphtheria, syphilis, tetanus, TB, typhoid fever, and meningitis. Virus. Non-living particles due to inability to perform metabolic activities. Generally smallest than the smallest bacteria, less than 200 nm in diameter. Can be purified and crystallized and stored. The viral crystals are still infections when given opportunity to invade host cells, considered as obligate intracellular parasites. Influenza virus bacteriophage can infect all sorts of cells but very specific. Bacteriophage infect only bacteria. Tobacco mosaic virus only in plants. Rabies virus only mammals. Human immunodeficiency virus, HIV or only blood cells. Poliovirus only spinal nerve cells. Hepatitis virus only in liver cells. Discovery of virus in 1884, Louis Pasteur, French chemist, suggested that something smaller than a bacterium was the cause of rabies and gave the name virus to it from Latin meaning poison. In 1892, Dmitry Ivanovsky, Russian biologist, studied tobacco mosaic disease and concluded that the disease-causing agent was smaller than any known bacteria and concluded that it was a toxin than a microorganism. Viral structures. Author capsaid of protein sabonate may be surrounded by an outer membranous envelope, inner core or nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA but not both. May contain various proteins needed to produce viral DNA or RNA. Types of virus as to host cells. Plant virus. Plant virus live only in the cells of seed plants, especially flowering plants. Number 2 is human and animal virus. Human and animal virus live only in human and animal cells. Bacteriophage invade only bacterial cells. As agent of disease, number 1, virulent, number 2, temperate. Virulent can cause of disease to the host immediately. Number 2, temperate does not cause a disease to the host immediately. As to the type of nucleic acid, number 1, DNA virus. DNA virus contains DNA as the genetic material, can cause sore throat, warts, herpes, chickenpox, and smallpox. RNA virus. RNA virus contains RNA as the genetics material, can cause polio, flu, common colds, hepatitis, and rabies. Retrovirus contains an enzyme reverse transcriptase that makes DNA from RNA. The DNA form mix new RNA, which is turn makes new protein to be part of a new virus. AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, caused by the retrovirus HIV. The HIV invades destroys the body white blood cells, particularly CD4 lymphocytes, also called as helper T cells. T cells could be found in high concentration in blood and semen, and increased concentration vaginal secretions, salivia, thirst, urine, and breast milk. AIDS pathogens include anyone with a CD cells. HIV infection can be detected by standard blood tests for serum antibodies. Onset of AIDS following infection with HIV takes an average of 7 to 11 years. Transmission HIV, exchange of bodily fluids during unprotected anal or vaginal intercourse or oral genital contact. Sharing of blood contaminate needs by IV drug user. Transfusion of infect blood or blood products. Prenatal transmission from infect woman to her fetus or infant before, during, or shortly after birth. Persistent or repeating fever loss or appetite and unexplained weight loss. Ang common symptoms ay pwedeng makuha sa swelling lymph nodes, skin rashes or discoloration, chronic fever, headache, and dry cough, easily bruising or bleeding from any body opening. Reproduction of HIV. Attachment, penetration, reverse transcription, replication, integration, transcription, biosynthesis, maturation, release. Attachment, the spike combines with the receptor cells. Penetration, HIV enters the cells and uncoating occurs. Reverse transcription, the viral RNA produces a copy of DNA strand. Replication, cDNA strand produces double-stranded cDNA. Integration, viral DNA pass when the host cells reproduce. Transcription, produce mini strand of mRNA. Biosynthesis, viral components are synthesized. Maturation assembly of viral components. Release budding gives virus an envelope. SARS or severe acute respiratory syndrome, a condition of unknown etiology that has been described in patent in Asia or North America and Europe. A respiratory illness classified as a typical pneumonia or a infection of the respiratory tract that is caused by the coronavirus. Coronavirus, a virus with crown-like shape when viewed under the microscope. It belongs to the coronavirus family that cause common colds and human and more serious illness among animals, also known to cause pneumonia. Signs and symptoms. The incubation period range from 2 to 10 days, and the initial indication of infection is a fever of at least 38 degrees Celsius, chills, headache, muscle soreness, and a general feeling of discomfort are also common. A dry and productive couch develops after 3 to 7 days. The couch can be accompanied by or eventually result in hypoxemia by a reduced concentration or oxygen in the blood. Approximately 10 to 20% of infect patients require some type of assistance in breathing. Mode of transmission. The main way that SARS is spread is through droplet transmission, such as droplets may be produced when someone with SARS sneezes and coughs. SARS may also be spread through contaminated object. Airborne transmission is most likely possible. Organs effective. Inflation of the lungs and retention of fluid in the lungs, which can affect the amount of oxygen reaching the bloodstream depending on the severity of the illness. And many patients, high level of lactate dehydrogenase are often found. The enzyme when present in the blood usually indicates tissue damage to the heart, muscles, or another organs such as the liver. SARS management. World Health Organization recommends that patients with SARS be isolated with barrier nursing techniques. World Health Organization recommend that any suspect cases be reported to national health authorities. World Health Organization is in close communication with all national authorities and also has offered epidemiological, laboratory, and clinical support. Travel advisories are reviewed daily to avoid outbreak. Elsewhere, research are ongoing for understanding of the syndrome and development of a possible cure. Treatment and prevention. Although all thought that causative agent has not yet been fully identified, the Center of Disease Control and WHO recommend that health workers treat the symptoms of SARS in the same way they would handle any other unknown pneumonia case. Report regimen include the administration or antibiotic, antiviral agent like oseltamivir or ribavirin, and combination of steroids and antimicrobials. Good personal hygiene include frequent hand washing is important for everyone in areas with charged cases. Alcohol-based hand rubs may also be used on alternative avoid close contact with large number of people as much as possible. Wearing of face mask is not recommended since it may cause further panic among people, but it may minimize the risk.